I've left the hustle and bustle of Middleton behind, and I've had a change of plans. So instead of my Mammoth Kento boots, I have these new Mindle hiking style trainers. More about those later. And I've stuck my 50-litre Mammoth with this 18-litre Rab Energy with just what I need for the day. So let's see what impact reducing my weight and changing my footwear for something lighter has on today's challenge. Potentially 21 miles from here at Middleton, just behind us, all the way to Dufton. That'd be a fantastic place to live. But let's just play a little guessing game between here and Dufton, 21 miles away. By the end of this video, how many people do you think I will have seen or met on the way? I don't include parties of kids doing Duke of Edinburgh, actual other people. Right, keep that number in your mind, we'll see what it is at the end. For now, a bit of sun cream on, and then it's this way. Fantastic, look at that. And the sky, weather, wonderful. You know, when you think of certain long distance footpaths like the West Highland Way, you've got a sort of mental image in your head. Some bends, some locks, pine trees. And if you think of the Northumberland Coast Path, well, the name sort of says it all really. There'll be dunes, there'll be beaches. But certainly this part of the Pennine Way, it's section I've decided to do. It's so varied. And it's like having a different aspect to a personality. You got the treacherous bit yesterday with the bogs and the unpleasantness, and then this, which is idyllic, the occasional style, guided along by a couple of dry stone walls. But then, like I say, the first bit for me, out of Malham Cove was along somewhat, well, laborious plod up those stone steps, and here we have something different again. It's I suppose this is part of the challenge when you come here. What do I bring? Will I be cold? Will I be wet? Will it be boiling hot like today? Will my footwear stand up to it? How many changes of clothes do I need? Well, minimum as possible, but wildflower meadows, hideous bogs, windswept, gritty footpaths above Ribblehead. It's been, if anything, varied, which is awesome. Well, I think you'll agree, this is absolutely jaw-dropping. Oh yeah, no, we can't see an awful lot of it yet, but the sun on the tees and the footpath rolling west in the shade. Fantastic. I know I look like a lemon, but at least I won't end up the colour of a tomato. Fantastic. Isn't this wonderful? Wildflower meadow one side, dry stone walls rolling to the distance, and to the other, the Tees flowing from its source up in the Pennines. And if you can see me in the shade, you know that, oh, I'm benefiting totally from these trees along the riverbank. Something to consider. And if it's raining, you get a bit of shelter, and if it's windy, well, you get out of that as well. But this is absolutely super. And there we go. So my next navigational change will be in 6k, so potentially another 6k of just shady trees, the roar of the river, the beauty of the fells in the distance, and just occasionally seeing something like this. Isn't that fantastic? Oh. Up at Teesdale now, Moor House the area is called. Smell of the bracken, lovely. And hopefully more of a breeze. I'm hearing the roar of something. It can only be another waterfall. Wasn't that absolutely amazing? Low force and high force here up at Teesdale. And this is how the route continues, at least certainly for the next few kilometres. The river on the right, the hills on the left, and the path just gradually, ever so slightly, getting higher and higher as we reach the upper parts of Upper Teesdale. Just when you thought things couldn't get any more impressive, Huge, that's high force. Now it's tricky to get eyes on it safely, but we'll see what we can do. Ooh. Foot. There we go. Isn't that amazing? That's high force. Amazing. Let's have a look from this side. Ooh. Wasn't that amazing? Bloody frightening though. One slip. That was brilliant. Well, as you can see, this section of the Tees is far more sedate, and even with the quarry there grinding its way into the mountain, its noise still can't silence the flow of the Tees. Well, after leaving up at Teesdale there, the way has certainly changed its character again. So the flanks of moorland, edge of some of these fells, and the path, as you can see, fantastic inlaid slabs just to make the going a bit easier. So refreshing breeze now. The scenery after the sort of gorge of up at Teesdale starting to open up now. Sort of twiddly footpath between the bushes right at the start. To get this, amazing. Well, as far as I'm concerned, you might feel the same way once you get here. This has been my favourite section so far, the Pennine Way, Middleton to Dufton. It's not just the river, it's the way has been good, the scenery has been, yes, it's been varied the whole route, but today already there's been a lot of changes, lots to see. A little confluence here, becoming the Tees, little house, almost like the entrance to Glencoe, just perched on the edge there. And it's been wonderful in its variety. And I have to say, if I was going to ever come back, there's some stages I probably wouldn't do again, even in good weather, but this is certainly one I would. And I'm only able to do it with support from my other half, who's come and brought me lightweight kit and a change of clothes. YJ. Have to find out which one that is. Cauldron Snout. This way. So, up at Teesdale Nature Reserve. So after we've crossed that last bridge and wandered up past that farm, obviously the character changes again. Sort of upland fells with a nice breeze, and I can do away with potentially the sun cream for now and just enjoy a bit of shade from the clouds and a breeze down the back of my neck. And, so far, I'm counting only 2 people on the Pennine Way at the minute. I don't count someone fishing or doing photography down by the river, or even those horticulturalists collecting wildflowers for their seed bank. Well, as viewpoints go, it's pretty good. Oh, ashamed to waste it. Higher up in the Tees, down the valley. And I don't know, I think it's just a farm with its wind turbine. And we're about halfway-ish. Maybe half a kilometre each way, but it seems like a good place just to plop the old bot down and just take 5. Amazing. The rolling farmers' fields there to scree-strewn cliff edges, and it looks like the way trundles up and up and up along the river still. This has been amazing. Well, you can see the way gets a bit rockier just along the bottom slopes of that fell there. I'll indicate on the video, on the screen. Then after a little bit of tiptoeing amongst the boulders, it eases out a little bit. Oh, we've got ourselves some duck boards. So, it's all good. Still moving along to the sound of the river. Here we are, 20 k's in from Middleton, Cauldron Snout, and the way's going to go up just to the side of me, up over the top, and somehow we'll find our way further up onto High Cup Nick eventually. So it's time for a break. Me and Jim are going to take 5. Thank you. Isn't this awesome? Cauldron Snout, and Jim, who I met a couple of days ago and he's still going, he's going to demonstrate the route up there, which will go to the side, wind up and up and up and over, and then somehow we've got to cross at the top. I think there's a bridge or causeway or something. At the minute I'm going to take 5 and let him get on his way. Just got myself into a pickle already. Worth every step today. There we are. So the dam behind the reservoir, and away we'll go on. As all the water downhill. So not all land is open all the time. There's a big MOD training area around here. So the way switches to the left, and I just want to pause a minute after the exhilarating climb. Hope you managed to see it there, because that was absolutely stupendous. That in itself was worth coming for. 31k for the whole route. Not finished yet. It was worth it. Well, after that terrific experience, the way has sort of reverted back to type as it's been over a lot of the stages. A gravelly track running hither and thither just across the fells. You can see maybe just in the distance it zigzags just up the next part, and this is absolutely fantastic. Easy on the feet, doddle to navigate, and with a bit of a breeze at my back still. Yeah, that's about 2/3 of the route done today. Still a hike up Nick to come, and then down into Dufton. But in the meantime, between here and there, more to see and more to enjoy. Well, I don't think it's very far to hike up Nick now. You'll probably see that in the next clip. In the meantime, I found myself a nice comfortable pace, and while it's not a race, there is a destination to reach. But in the meantime, while the pace is slowed, I get a chance just to enjoy the last 3 or 4 miles of the open sky before the ridge of hike up Nick, which you'll see in a moment. So there we go, hike up Nick. Grand Canyon of the Pennine, some people call it, carved by a glacier. So worth every step, I think you'll agree. And if you can come up this way, it's very worth seeing. It's awesome. Look at that, a stream down the middle, always windy, always awesome. What a place. And what better place than just to have 5 minutes after that slog. Yes. Well, there we are. The awesome glacial majesty of Hike Up Nick. Millions of years of erosion carving that amazing thing out of the mountain. So all that's left to do is wander along the edge of it, where I can get a glimpse of some more in the way of cliffs and some amazing views over the Eden Valley, and then I'll wander back down towards the edge of Dufton. There'll be time to put my feet up. And it's been interesting as the terrain has changed, so has the weather. From that boiling hot start you saw, about to have me do-rag down the back of my neck, stop me burning my ears, to this overcast and thankfully breezy affair, which is keeping me cool. Very welcome. So an amazing experience at Hike Up Nick, and in complete contrast this morning, the rain's just starting to try and chase me off the fell. So I'm going to keep moving. Got my wet weather jacket, but with the wind the way it is, the elevation I still have, I'm pretty grim up here for it start to battering down. So make her way carefully down to Dufton and a spot of tea. So what a fantastic day. Many contrasts in the terrain, in the weather, in the views, but it's all been marvellous. This has probably been up there one of my favourites, if not my favourite day so far. Well, there we go, County Durham into Cumbria, 33k later, and I think it's just time to wrap up. That's saying thanks for joining me, and thanks everybody I met along the way. Helped me out with little things and directions and things to look out for. And as we look west, as I head down towards Dufton, because that's the end now, you can just see, just pause a minute, just the fells, the outline of the fells in Cumbria. My old friends there. So thank you for following me along so far. I think you'll agree we've seen some awesome things, but I think for now it's time to end today, feet up and a cold drink, and we'll see what tomorrow brings. Thanks for sticking with me.